Let's do it. Come on in.
حبيبي watch Cigar Inc. لو سمحتي لو سمحت لو سمحتوا.
This is Zaya Younan in Cigar Inc. I'm glad to be here with some of my best friends. This is our third episode of podcast. Here today is special. You will be seeing who Zaya Younan hang around with in the afternoon, right? Not with professors, not with doctors, not with businessmen. I'd rather be around the people that inspire me. And I have 4 blessed, talented Americans that probably you didn't know about. And by end of this podcast, you will be amazed of who they are and you will follow him. And here we have Jasmine.
Hi Zaya.
Right?
How
Was
are
that
you?
a correct name? Jasmine? All right,
Yes.
Jasmine. Right?
Yes.
And Jasmine, what do you do?
So Zaya, I am a singer-songwriter for Audio Dream Records, and I'm also a signed A&R to Mantra Publishing as well.
Oh, that's great. And Julius is your manager and promoter,
Yes,
right?
he is also my boss.
He's your boss. And then, Julius, how come by now not everybody in the world know who she is?
Hey, it's going to happen. It's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time.
But you know,
Yes.
time's something that people don't have because we live a finite
Yes.
amount of time.
Absolutely.
So in the next 3 months, if she's not on cover of every major publication, you should fire this child. He's my friend, but you should fire this guy.
Hey, I'll fire myself if it don't happen. So don't
thank
worry about
God,
it.
thank God. And we have Johnny here. Johnny is a Las Vegas boy. He knows how to create entertainment in Las Vegas in the new way that has never been done. And he's the owner of one of the hottest lounges in the world, Chocolate City, El-Septimo. Johnny, tell us a little bit about yourself and about your lounge.
My name is Johnny Yancey. I'm from Las Vegas, Nevada. Founder of Chocolate City El-Septimo Cigar Lounge. And first of all, I'd like to toast Cigar Inc.,
Yeah.
Zaya Younan, and Younan Companies for having us.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Cheers.
Everyone, thank you.
And next to him, we have this guy. I don't know who this guy is. I mean, he seems like a guy who just got out of the jail or something. But I think his name is Errol. Errol,
What's
tell us a
up?
little bit about who you are.
What's up, Zaya? The only reason you think I got out of jail is because you was in there with me. You telling on us.
So true.
The gangster.
So true.
Hey, in there with you, it wasn't too bad, though, man. I could have been in there with somebody else.
I would love to be in the jail with you. You know what? You and I can smoke cigar all day long. Let me tell you something. Do they let us smoke cigar in the jail or
They
not?
definitely gonna let
Because
us.
if they do, I want to commit the crime. And if they do, I'm not going to stay away from the crime. Are they going to let us smoke or
They
not?
definitely gonna let you and me smoke. They're not gonna have much of a choice, Zaya.
I mean, who was it? Was that a Tolstoy or another famous writer that say, if heaven doesn't have cigar to smoke, I'd rather go to hell.
Hey, man,
Oh,
look.
man.
So, get
Say
them
that
keys
again.
ready.
Yeah. And Errol, joking aside, Errol is a very good friend of mine. I met him 2 years ago.
Now, you met me
And-
4 years, 3.5,
Oh,
4
3
years
and a
ago.
half has been
Don't
that
try to
long, you know?
all the harassing you done, Zaya. I'm keeping track. I'm keeping track.
And
Got
Errol-
receipts.
And Errol is a special guy. Has had a special life and is a very successful marketeer. One of the best. Every so often, I talk to him about getting advice on the businesses, how to market them, because with the new technology and everything, the landscape has changed. So tell us a little bit about what you do.
So what I do is I generate leads and I sell leads. Like traditional way of marketing has changed. You have the internet. That's the key to marketing. You want to be able to go out there and grab people and them not even know that it was you grabbing them. And the best way you do that is through tech. You use things like geofencing. And you find out where people are at. For example, with you, you might not want to tell everybody this, Zaya.
No, actually, you're wrong. I want everybody to know who I am and everybody know where I am. Because I'm a people person.
Everybody knows who you are.
You know something, Errol? Seriously, I'm a people person. And frankly, I wish I was born in this country. I would have run to be a president. Would you have voted for me?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, but you're a Democrat and I'm Republican. How's that working?
Well, I'd have made sure you understood why you needed to be a Democrat, and then you'd have added me to the cabinet. It's not hard, Zaya.
Some people live for the fortune, and some people live just for the fame. Some people live for the power, yeah. And some people live just to play the game.
Jasmine, How old are you? 24?
Yes, I'm
Yeah?
24 years old.
So what do you do with your free time? Do you have a boyfriend?
Absolutely not.
Oh, that's good actually.
No, sir.
Hey guys, she doesn't have any
I
boyfriend.
am single like a Pringle.
And that's good. That's good for business.
Yep, yes it
Yeah.
is. I ain't got no room to not focus. I have to
That's very
all
good.
my attention.
And what are some of your habits? What keeps you occupied? I'm sure, when you go home, sometimes people get tired of watching TV.
Mm-hmm.
What does keep you occupied? I mean, I noticed you have started smoking. I mean, didn't your mother tell you smoking is bad for you?
Smoking is bad for me. I've never really ever been a smoker, but once I met you and I met Julius and we started going to the El-Septimo Lounge in Hollywood, I started smoking this beautiful cigar that you
Queen
gave me.
Sheba.
The Queen Sheba. Yes, this is literally, I will go to the studio and I will light one of these bad boys and I'll just write and just live. And it's honestly
Absolutely.
just the most relaxing thing ever.
Actually, we are releasing a new health report written by doctors, professors and doctors, that they are coming to the conclusion with statistical background that smoking natural nicotine, this is a natural nicotine, it's all natural, it reduces the body inflammation. And when it reduces the body inflammation, it actually expands your vocal cord.
Really?
Actually expand your vocal cord. Next time when you are singing, imagine what you're going through, and then the following day or shortly after that, light a cigar, smoke it for 20-30 minutes, and then start singing it again. See if there was any difference in your vocal capacity and capability. This is really important.
I will try that.
Yeah.
I will try that.
And I tell you something, God bless you.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
God
Yes.
bless you for being a manager and promoter, and you're telling this girl, stay away from boys. And you're telling this girl, when you are lonely, you have nothing to do, grab a El-Septimo cigar,
Yes.
and that cigar will give you everything you need
Yes.
for complete entertainment, right?
Exactly.
Hey, I tell her all the time.
By the way, this guy is not on my payroll. Seriously.
I'm not.
He's not. No. I mean, and his funny thing is, Julius, when you were a child,
Yes.
you had a huge problem with asthma.
I was an asthmatic.
And I heard the story that you start smoking and by accident a little bit, and then you notice that your asthma completely went away. Tell us
Yes.
about that.
My 30th birthday party. It was a cigar themed party. Where I passed out cigars for my 30th party, and I smoked cigars for the first time when I turned 30.
Wow.
And I loved it. I loved it so much that I started researching cigars. I started going to lounges and smoking consistently. And after that, I realized after a year passed, my asthma was totally gone.
Wow.
Like I didn't re-up my inhaler. I didn't have any wheezing. And I thought it was a coincidence, but I kept smoking. And this
So from the
13
time you're
years,
smoking, how many years has it been?
it's been 13 years.
13 years you've been smoking cigar, and 13 years you have not used your inhaler.
I have not had an inhaler. I have not been to the hospital for asthma in 13 years.
Wow.
And I smoke cigars every week.
That's amazing.
Oh my God, that is truly amazing. And for the audience, the reason for that is nicotinamide is dilatic, and nicotinamide compound, which is the same that exists in the vegetables like tomato, potato, eggplant, green pepper, cauliflower. It actually, because it's dilatic, it increased the blood and oxygen flow in your body. It reduced the inflammation in your body. Your inflammation could be in your breathing. Your inflammation could be in your muscle.
Yes.
Your inflammation could be orthopedics in your bone. It reduces it completely. I mean, I smoke cigars every day, and when one day I don't smoke enough cigar, or I don't smoke any because I'm traveling or something, I actually feel a stiffness in my body.
Wow.
It is amazing.
I believe it.
I mean, you take Advil, you take all kinds of medication like that. It works temporary and it stops. But I've been smoking cigar. I've been smoking cigar now for 40 years, and I have not taken Advil in ages.
I wonder
How
why they
long?
don't talk about these types of things
Well,
when it
I
comes
tell
to
you, it's a
cigars.
politics, right? I mean, what destroyed this world is the wrong politics, right? It's a fake media, fake news.
Right.
These are a bunch of people sitting someplace. They're afraid to show their face. They try to control the narrative
Propaganda.
of how we live. I mean, think about this. And more scary about this country, right? Often you have a president, but you don't know who's running a country. And these people are so powerful. They have the media. This is why organic podcasting is becoming so popular.
Right.
This is why Cigar Inc. invested so much money to create this, to educate people to educate people, not of what's right, what's wrong, that comes secondary, but what they should listen to and what they should not. And I tell you, before you want to say anything, Johnny, it's been good 10 years where I don't listen to a news anymore. Because most of it is fake, most of it is exaggerated, and most of it is propaganda for them, not for the community, not for their country, but for them to achieve their damn objective. Johnny?
The nicotine that Zaya is speaking of is not the same nicotine that's in cigarettes that's chemically induced. It's natural nicotine that's in El-Septimo cigars. Totally different nicotine.
Yeah. And Jasmine, we're talking about nicotine, everything, but I know the audience saying, why don't you shut up and let her sing again? So give us another 10, 15 seconds of blessing.
What should I sing, y'all?
Change Gonna Come.
Change Gonna Come?
That's one of my favorites.
All right.
Sam Cooke.
Let's go. I was born by the river in a little tent. And just like the river I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come.
Wow.
Jasmine, we're going to drink to that one. That was beautiful.
Hello.
Honest to God, you are talented.
Thank you.
I don't know why you're not in the main stages. All of you music producer or studio owners, you see a young soul, a beautiful young girl, doesn't date, doesn't take drugs, she's clean. The biggest sin, she's got a few tattoos here or there, but we forgive her for that. And she sings so well. This is a blessing. You're blessed by God Himself.
Thank you.
Seriously.
Absolutely.
Now, what about you, Julian? Do you sing at all?
Actually, I started off
Yes,
singing.
he does.
Yeah?
Yes, he does sing.
Can you give us 5
Oh,
seconds
man.
of something for us to laugh about?
The answer should have been no. You got to blow.
I should have said no.
Yep.
We gotta let it be known. Julius could sing.
Is that right?
Julius could sing.
Yeah.
Julius could sing for real.
Julius.
I started off singing before I got into the business side of it.
That's very
My mom was a known gospel artist.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then I got into singing. Then I got into writing. Then
So when you were a child, you would actually sing in church.
I would
and
sing all the
everything.
time.
Yeah? This is really good. It's amazing that so much talent is created in the church. Unbelievable, right? These kids go out there, they do service to God, they do service to humanity, and they develop a talent that later on they make millions and billions of it. Yeah. Johnny, how about you? Do you sing?
I don't, but Julius going to have to prove to us that he can sing. Come on. I can say I can sing if I don't do it, but there you go.
Oh, mercy, mercy me. Whoa, whoa,
Wow!
Come on, man.
For Julius, huh?
Right on,
I'm looking
Julius.
for you to do more. Come on.
That's what with that. Julius, come
My
on,
boy
man.
can sing.
Now we're going to talk about Johnny for a second. We picked on everybody
Yes.
except Johnny, right? But before we pick on him, we have to compliment him for his achievement.
Yes.
This is a highly educated guy, son of a doctor and professor, who decided to get into entertainment. And he opened up the lounge in Las Vegas. And when he opened up this lounge in Las Vegas, he kept it away from the Strip because he wanted to make it the destination. He didn't want it to be someplace that everybody walked by. He wanted to be someplace that people walk to it. So we all thought he's crazy, right? So we gave him no credit. We say, you want a cigar, you got to pay for it up front. We don't trust you. Joking, we didn't do that. But since he opened his lounge in the last year and a half or year?
A year and a month.
Year and a month, so almost a year, is one of the hottest club entertainment cigar lounge in the world, especially in Las Vegas.
Wow.
And his performance, financial performance, are unbelievable. I just learned from him that he does almost $1,000 per square foot in revenue.
Wow.
In some cases, Louis Vuitton doesn't do it in the mall. So we're going to call it Bernard Arnault. And anyway, he's a friend of mine. Bernard, I think I respect him more than I respect you. But joking aside. And so how is it, what do you do in that club that you attract people that want to come there? Because they have a lot of choices. They can go 20, 30 places.
Las Vegas is a very transient city. One thing I want to do when I open the lounge is bring culture to Vegas. You see culture in a lot of cities. You don't see it in Vegas. I want to bring people together, sort of have a think tank. To me, a cigar lounge is a gentleman's club. Not a gentleman's club in the way of a strip club, but where we can come and relax, talk about family, talk about
But
sports.
also ladies. I mean, you have a
talk
lot of
about
ladies.
We have 70% women on a daily basis.
Wow.
The number one reason, it doesn't smell like smoke.
Let me ask you a question. Why does it smell like smoke? Because cigars should smell terrible. Why is it your lounge does not smell like a cigar?
I went to a cigar lounge about 20 years ago in Atlanta, and I asked a lady, I said, there's more women in here than there are men. I said, cigar culture in Vegas is mostly men. She said, this is where all the men are. That told me if I want to cater to women, I had to have a great air outtake system. I utilize the Blue Ox air outtake system, makes hospital quality air every 30 minutes. You smoke cigars in our lounge all day, every day. It does not smell like smoke.
Also, your cigars are very special. There is a lot of properties of the cigars that you sell that are do not generate bad aroma,
Exactly.
right? Because they are not filled with pesticides and fertilizers, right?
Not cheap cigars.
Not cheap cigars, right?
Without a doubt, El-Septimo Cigars are our major brand. We probably sell about 90% of El-Septimo Cigars. We carry 4 other brands, but El-Septimo is our home run at all times.
So 90% of all the cigar you sell at your lounge is El-Septimo.
Without a doubt.
Wow.
El-Septimo Cigars will spoil you. Try one, I guarantee you, you won't go back to what you're used to smoking.
Right, right.
That's a fact.
And what about your mother and father, you know, and doctor, professor? They probably needed you to be a genius professor or a doctor. So are they happy with you or not?
They're extremely happy. My mother's a doctor. My father's an engineer.
Ah, that's even better.
Without a doubt. I paid my own way through college because I didn't want them to tell me when I could quit.
Wow, good for you.
That's amazing.
I wanted to learn about business. I owned my first business at 19. It was an ice cream truck. I also owned a business in the commercial roofing industry. We're a $25 million company with 1 employee, myself. Okay.
So at the age of 19,
Amazing.
you were not afraid. I mean, guys, age of 19, right? You were talking about very, very young man. You were not afraid to take a risk and do something big.
Not at all. I wanted to learn how business was run. The number one thing that owning an ice cream truck taught me was watch the dollars. The pennies are what kill you. Okay, meaning all the small things, insurance, gas, so on and so forth.
Details.
But at the same time, I didn't just open an ice cream truck and go sell ice cream. I went to the city and did the work. I found out where all the soccer games were, all the Pop Warner games were, all the conventions were. I knew where all the bus stops were. So I did the work in becoming a business owner at 19, and that's taught me at 55 almost everything I need to know.
So this is a lesson. This is a lesson where a young man had a passion. He was able to turn on his passion. He was able to commit himself. A lot of boys his age were probably chasing girls, and
I was doing that also.
Yeah.
Multitask.
But he focused on the business, and that was important for him, and he made it happen. Yeah. I'm telling you, this country is so blessed. Anything and everything is possible in this country.
If I could say one thing on what Zaya said, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a singer, if you're a business owner, you have to realize whatever this is, nothing's more important than this.
Yes.
The nightclub, the big rims on a car, whatever it is, nothing's more important than this. Nothing can take you away from whatever your goals are. Handle it all day. When you're in the shower, you should be thinking of business ideas. Don't be thinking of going somewhere and showing your outfit off. Nothing's more important than this, whatever that thing is.
Wow.
Being obsessed, pretty much.
With that, you have
to be obsessed with
obsessed.
success.
Yes.
You have to be obsessed with it, seriously.
Yes.
And you have to condition yourself to be obsessed with it. I mean, look at these athletes, right? Athletes is a very good example of it.
Great example.
These guys go through tremendous process to achieve the highest standard of performance, right?
Absolutely.
A lot of us will never do that, right? And these do it, young kids do it, right? I mean, look at the football player, right? It's not easy to be a football player. They get hit by some of the strongest guy in the world.
Exactly.
But yet they're not afraid of getting hit. They're not afraid of falling, and they're not afraid of standing up and continuing up the game.
Exactly.
Which go back to you, Earl. You've been married for a long time, right?
We've been married for a long time.
Yeah, and you have a daughter that she's a professional basketball player.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, that's great.
It's amazing.
And when you were a kid, now Your switch went up a little bit later, I think.
Much later than Johnny's.
Yeah. Okay, it's okay. It's okay. One thing I always say to people, we have a infinite amount of time we live our rest of our life.
Yes.
So don't waste it thinking about the past.
Absolutely.
What we should do, we should learn from the past, but we should never look backwards. When you drive in the freeway, you don't look at your rear view mirror all the time. You have to look forward. So don't waste time looking at your back. Don't waste time saying, I should have done this. Why did I do this? Just learn to do the right thing going forward, which seems you done it, and now you're a successful businessman.
Absolutely, Zaya, because I used to look in the rearview mirror, actually look in the rearview mirror in that life, you know. And then as things changed for me, I started looking forward in life and in the car.
Wow.
Like the things that were behind me don't matter anymore. You know,
So every parent should listen to this, because I think human life is a journey, right? It's funny. Sometimes we go on a trip for a journey, Paris or some European country. And then we talk about it to our friends for the longest time. Oh, I went, I did this, I went, I did this, I went, I did that. They are sharing their experience, the fun they had with that journey. But often the same parents don't look at the journey their children are making.
Right.
I think at early stage, parenting influence is very important.
Absolutely.
Parenting, when somebody decides to have a child, they must be dedicated. They must be dedicated to make sure that child is motivated, is taught well, that he or she will be able to live a very good life.
absolutely.
We
True.
have
Very
to
true.
look at their journey rather than pay attention on ours, right? And we have to make sure that they are at the right journey. And the journey you live with from beginning to the end is such a big change, but you made it happen because your passion switch went out, you became determined, and you said enough of enough. I'm going to be someone important, and I'm going to do it. And nothing can stop you. If I put a concrete wall in front of you, you find a way of getting around it.
Or through it.
Amazing.
Through it, exactly.
But it's going down. I'm not going to let it sit in front of me. Those things that you learn in life. Absolutely.
And it's the same thing. A lot of people come to me, they say, teach us art of success, teach us art of making money. Right. And the first thing I said to them, I says, so you don't think you're successful? They said, no. You don't think you have enough money? No. So what should you do? You should change the way you are living, the way you are thinking.
Yes.
Zach, can I tell a quick story
powerful.
regarding what you're just saying?
Please.
In any journey you're on, think positively about it.
Very important.
A few years back, I got home and my water heater in my garage had broken. Garage was flooded. I went in the backyard, a sprinkler pipe had busted.
Oh.
I didn't moan, I didn't groan. I said, God, thank you for allowing me to have a house.
Yes.
Everything you have to do has to be positive.
Perspective.
When we opened our cigar lounge, I had a meeting with the crew. I had 10 employees. The first thing I said is, if we sell one cigar today, that's one more than we sold yesterday. I look at life like that.
Perspective.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Positive perspective.
This is
Yes.
very important that you're sharing this, because often people have the answer in their mind, because human is very smart, right? But they are not looking at it, or they don't want to think about it. And when they see other people thought about it, looked at it, they learn that it's easy to do it and it's part of our life to do it, right?
Exactly.
You always should have a positive view. Fear nothing. The only thing you should fear in life is fear itself.
Fear yourself. Giving
Fear
up.
itself. Fear nothing, right? You will only know your limit if you try them. If you don't try them, you're not. Look at athletes. They run fast, 100 meter at a certain time. And what do next? They want to break that. And next they want to break that. And next they want to break that. I mean, if athletes is able to condition his body so well and his mind, because most part of it comes from the mind, rest of it comes from the body. You have to be intelligent to be good at anything, right? We, human beings, are not doing exactly what they're doing. And if we learn how to do that, we all be successful. We all will have a good life. I think right now there is so much focus on things that are not important. And big part of this, again, is the media. Media. I mean, fake news to me is real. I think these people that report news, they sit in front of the camera with a straight face and lie. With a straight face, they say something that is totally wrong.
Right.
And they have get away with it for years, right? And they keep doing it. But we should not be influenced by that. We should only be influenced by ourselves, not by anybody else. People always ask me, who is your hero? Who is your idol? Who did you grow up thinking about? I said, no one, myself.
Right.
No one, myself. Because had I thought about being something like Elon Musk or Steve Jobs, well, I'm not them.
Right.
I don't know what the chemistry of the body and brain is for them to achieve what they're achieving, or if I could have that chemistry of body and brain to be able to achieve what they achieve.
Right.
So I try to figure out my own. So figure it within yourself and you will get there. What do you think about all of these?
Honestly, it's really a matter of understanding where you are and understanding your mental stability and your mental state, because you can't do anything without knowing yourself.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. And the same reason is about smoking a cigar, which is a natural product, natural leaf, right?
El-Septimo Cigars, a natural leaf.
And
Keep them in point, Johnny. Keep them on point.
and they tell you smoking is bad for you, right? And then they said smoking is bad for you because of all the chemicals in the cigarette. Well, this is not a cigarette. This has no chemical, right? This is just a cigar.
Exactly.
And it's funny, the society we live in. They say, don't smoke natural product, cigar, but you can do drugs. You can do marijuana.
Right.
This cigar doesn't alter the way I think. It actually relaxes me. It helps me think and be more efficient. But if I use drugs like marijuana, right, I'll be altered. I can't think straight. I can't act straight. People wonder why we have so many homelesses in California. They think because it's crazy. Well, these crazy people just appeared 5 years ago? If the crazy people existed, they always existed. How come we never had homeless problem? The reason we have homeless problem, because 5 years ago, this state of California legalized drugs, marijuana. So these guys have a little bit of money, they go smoke marijuana, they start hallucinating, they lose their house, they lose their apartment, then they live in the street.
See, I'm going to look at it like this, Zaya. So I think that everything takes personal accountability. When I started smoking your El-Septimos, you told me some things about them, but at the end of that conversation, you told me, go find out, go do the research on your own to find out what cigars do and don't do for your body. I went and did that, came back and had a conversation about it with you. I've also done the same thing with marijuana. So you and I have a totally different perspective on how.
And that's fine.
This is the fun part about having a relationship with you. I get to say these things. You get to say the things that you want to say, and we get to figure out what each other thinks to find this ground. And this is what the media doesn't allow for a lot of times.
Exactly.
It's for an open dialogue of different opinions. Like, you're still a Republican today for some reason. I'm still a Democrat for the right reasons. But it's all about a person going out and finding out the truth about everything, as opposed to me telling them, you telling them, or anyone else telling them. And that's the unique thing about having open formats and podcasts where real people get to have conversations with each other about things that matter to them.
Yeah, and I have to thank these guys. These guys all busy businessmen. Both Earl and John came all the way. Johnny came all the way from Las Vegas to be here. And also Julius and you took the time off your schedule to be here. Yes. And what I told them, I said, let's do these things. They said, well, we're kind of busy. I said, I know you're busy, but let's do these things for the youth, for the young people, for them to see we achieved unachievable. Maybe they can do the same thing. Let's inspire them. And I want to thank you all for taking time in your busy schedule, coming all the way down here. I mean, you literally had to spend your whole day to get here and do this podcasting. And I hope I appreciate it, and I know the audience appreciate it. And we are learning a lot of things together. People can live with each other if they have a different opinion, different point of view. Right. One of the beautiful things on this earth is that we have so many different things in it. Imagine if this earth, everybody looked like each other, everybody looking one way, how much a boring
Be very
right?
boring.
Exactly. Imagine if there was one kind of food for you to eat, right? What a boring would be. So God, Lord, has created a perfect world for us. And sometimes when we don't live the perfect life in the perfect world, we blame others, we should blame ourselves.
Absolutely.
Yes, Zaya, when we were walking in, Jules was telling us about this new song that Jasmine has. Yes. She sung a couple songs for us. I'd love to hear her new song, Angel.
Oh, Angel, yes! Come on, I'm sorry. I know you're talking. We'll give you
Let's put you on the spot,
We're gonna let you smoke your Queen Sheba after this. all right?
Okay. No worries. Okay, so Angel, it is on all platforms, so y'all could go check it
All
out.
platforms,
You know what I'm
everywhere.
saying?
And how do they access it? They can download it to what?
It's on Apple Music, it's on Spotify, these are Pandora, it's on YouTube, we got it on Instagram, it's everywhere. So all you gotta do is just type it into your Google search bar, your search engine, and it'll be there.
Jasmine, where are you at on social media?
My Instagram is I am Jasmine. So my name is spelled kind of differently. Instead of a J, it's with an X. So it's IAMXAZMINE. So I am, Jasmine is a little, it's a little special, a little different. You know what I'm saying?
No, but we love it. So
Right.
come on, let us hear this angel thing.
Okay. Oh, I could have been a problem. It could have been my trauma. It could have been my pain. It could have been my drama. I'ma plant the seed. I don't gotta prove nothing. It's not you, it's me. 'Cause you can't move this mountain. Just wanna let you know. Don't get too comfortable. I'm not responsible for you. Don't mistake me for an angel. Oh, don't mistake me for an angel.
Hey.
Oh, human, perfectly imperfect, not an angel.
Wow.
Come on, man.
And let me jump in real fast. The beauty of that song is that was our first session together.
Yeah.
And
It
who
was
wrote
our
the
first-
song?
Both of us.
Wow.
You know, it was the first session we had together as her as an artist.
Yes.
And you rarely get a special song in the first session.
Right.
Of
It
course.
usually takes a lot.
Of course.
Right.
So I want to commend Johnny as well. His testimony, his story, very inspiring. But it's confirmation as to what we always talk about as far as obsession and drive and dedication. And I appreciate you telling your testimony, your story, because it's the same stuff I've been telling Jasmine.
Yeah. And Julius, the word you use is very smart. Obsession.
Obsession, yes.
You have to be obsessed with the things you want in the world.
You have to be delusional.
Yeah,
Exactly.
gotta be,
You have
and that's,
to be
and that's my
delusional.
saying I've been having over the last years. Be delusional and manifest your delusion.
Yes.
Wow.
You know, over the last few years, I've manifested, incredible success, with my company. But at the same time, I always wanted the perfect artist, where I felt
that's
like
important, of course.
I needed.
You got one.
I'm saying I needed a face, I needed a voice, but more so than that, I needed someone who would listen, who would be humble, and who would do the work, right? And she's been that artist,
He's talking about me.
Wow. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yes.
This is really beautiful. You guys inspire me, right? Because the reason you inspire me, I live also a difficult life when I was a kid, but I don't like to talk about that shit. Doesn't matter. But you guys got the point I got at some point in my life, right? And the journey that we all made to get to that point was a difficult journey if you think about it.
Yes.
We don't think about it much because it's past, right? But I commend everyone, all of you and everyone else that are not here, that have taken that journey and have succeeded with that journey. These special people are the people that shaped their life the way they want to.
Yes.
And at the same time, they shape the world that we want to.
Amen.
It's a combination
Yes.
of a huge effort. And again, God bless America because it is the greatest country on the earth that has all of us contributing in our own way, right? Like listening to a good song like this with a great artist like this, it touches you. It makes you feel good. It's a medicine.
Yes.
It's a medicine. I think anything that feels good is a medicine, right?
Yes.
And for us to see so much talent here, it is unbelievable. So this podcast is not about the bullshit. It's not about selling your product. It's not about talking about shit that doesn't matter. It's not about most other podcasts that they tell you exactly what you want to hear because they chat GP for what people want to hear and then they repeat it to you. Here, they're repeating their life story.
Absolutely.
And they're hoping that some of us will be influenced by that.
Yes.
And that is very important. And it also shows the imperfection of the world. Like why you are not talked about every minute on every media platform, because you're a great artist, right? And are the barriers that are put in place by inefficient handicapped people, right? That I'm talking about studio owners and everything else, that instead of picking a great artist, they pick based on politics, they pick who they want, rather than based on performance. But at the same time, your resilience that, hey, I'm going to do exactly what I'm doing, and I'm going to break through you. I'm going to push this wall down. And thank you so much for all of you. Now what we're going to do, we're going to light up some cigars. We're going to smoke cigars because we love smoking cigars. We're smoking El-Septimo. When was the first time you smoked El-Septimo, Earl?
The very first time I smoked El-Septimo was about 6 months after you acquired El-Septimo in my backyard. A buddy of mine, Big Dave, walked into my backyard and said, "I got some smokes for you, buddy." And he breaks open this duffel bag full of these El-Septimos. All I saw was green and orange and yellow and blue bands. And I'm like, man, what you about to have me smoking? He said, trust me, when you smoke it, you won't ever smoke anything else. And he was like, pick which one you want. So I reached down into the bag, and Johnny, you will love this because your favorite color, orange. I picked up the one with the orange band, and it happens to be the best cigar on the planet. Wow. It's the Bomba Orange.
Oh, I love Bomba Orange.
Oh, it's the best cigar you make, Zaya.
I think it's the best cigar ever made. It's very scientific. It's very...
I'm happy to hear you say it. I've been waiting to get that. So I smoked that cigar in my backyard. It was, I think it was early spring or late spring, the year after, about 6 months after you acquired them or so. And I fell in love with the stick.
Have you smoked any other cigar in the last few years that you were introduced?
I have not smoked another stick in the last 2 years. One of the problems I have is people, I was telling Johnny this while we were riding down. I said, Johnny, one of the biggest problems I have is people give me other cigars and I'm not going to smoke them. Because after I smoked a cigar that was not an El-Septimo, after smoking them for a long time, I could taste what I didn't want to taste.
And how many cigars do you smoke a day?
Oh man, my wife gonna get me, Zaya.
But you smoke
just trying to figure out where the savings is going.
Yeah. No, but you smoke.
I can smoke anywhere. If I'm having a day where I can't get free, I will only have one. Most days I smoke 3 to 4 cigars a day.
Wow.
3 to 4 El-Septimos.
And then
Michael Jordan.
You also had some asthma problem. Was that you, Johnny?
It wasn't me. It's me.
And it's funny, you had asthma. Tell us about that. I mean, guys, they said smoking is bad for your health, smoking is bad for your breathing, smoking is bad for your lung. Well, they had asthma, which their lung was affected by it. And they smoked, and somehow their lungs self-improve. And what was your experience with asthma?
What's unique is I had no idea that was the reason. We were just discussing it, and after I started smoking El-Septimos, my nebulizer hasn't been turned back on, and I have a big old pack of albuterol sitting there that's unopened. Right. And that happened 2021
like
or so.
Years, like 3 years.
Wow, so as soon as you start smoking?
As soon as I started smoking El-Septimos on a regular, I would have a cigar every now and then when I was smoking other brands, but I started smoking these often. After that, haven't had it.
One of the biggest killer in America today is stress, right? Now, why stress? Stress increases the inflammation in your body. When your body inflammation increases, you have a lack of oxygen or blood flow to your organs. Mm-hmm. Imagine you're running a car where the gasoline doesn't get to your engine. The engine ain't gonna run, right? And and when you have an inflammation in your body, your cellular system gets damaged, because your cellular system, which is the software that runs your body, right? It requires to be lubricated with oxygen, with blood, right? And the inflammation causes that. That's why when you're stressed out, you smoke a cigar, you become distressed. Because again, a natural nicotine has a diuretic effect, and a diuretic effect expands your artery, which it allows you to breathe better, blood flow circulates towards your body. Absolutely. And if you Google a health benefit of natural, always don't put smoking, always use natural nicotine, because the way they program these things is to scare people. So every time you say is cigar smoking is good for you, and then you see saying cigarette smoking is very bad for you. We're not asking cigarette, you're asking for cigar. So always Google the health benefit of natural nicotine, because every cigar in the world is a natural nicotine. And you will see that it slows down the progression of dementia, Alzheimer, Parkinson's disease.
Wow.
It reduced stroke by 42%. Because why do you get stroke? Why do you get brain aneurysm? Because the oxygen, the blood doesn't flow in and your brain shuts down. And when you smoke a cigar,
Opens your artery.
it opens all your artery, it does it. So I love smoking cigar because it makes me feel good. I have seen, I'm a scientist, so I'm observant about my health and other people's health. I have noticed that my body inflammation has gone down. I sleep less. I wake up in the morning earlier, more clear, more energetic.
Right.
And I smoke 8 to 10 cigars a day. And the day that I smoke one, I notice a difference in my body.
8 to 10?
8 to 10 a day,
Wow.
right.
You think about that, Zaya.
Cigars do the exact opposite that alcohol does. Alcohol's a downer.
Exactly.
Wow.
And also alcohol increase the body inflammation. Often when you drink a lot, you sleep, you wake up in the morning, you wake up middle of your sleep, your body's stiff, you're tense. Alcohol does that to
We
you.
got to give kudos to this El-Septimo XO cognac,
oh, yeah,
though,
the
because my cup is gone.
Oh my God! Oh, look at this. She beats us.
Where the pour at?
I'm like, listen, this is some good. I'm not even a cognac drinker, but this is some good cognac right here.
Excellent
This is
cognac.
good. This is a very smooth
Everything
alcohol.
El-Septimo does is good. We make good cigars, we make great vodka, we make great wine, and a great cognac. So, just to wrap this thing up, Julius, what is your experience with El-Septimo cigar?
Well, my first time smoking the El-Septimo, if you remember, we met at Cigar Lounge. And we just had a good conversation, great conversation. And I didn't even know that you owned the cigar. But you gave me a cigar to smoke. We talked for about 2 hours. And the next thing you know, we're in Vegas together. And I'm standing next to Mike Tyson. And we're smoking El-Septimo. So that's the first time I smoked El-Septimo. It turned out to be a great week that I didn't expect.
By the way, that night, if you remember, between 8 of us, we drank 10 bottles of champagne.
Yes, we did.
And we
yes.
had 2 kilograms of caviar.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
So we went to a restaurant that was
I
closed.
thought the kilogram story was going somewhere else.
A very fancy restaurant. It was closed. Zaya walked in there and said, "Hell no, you guys need to open up, open up for us." They said, "No, we're closed, sir." So give me your most expensive bottle of wine. Give me 10 bottles of it. So they opened up.
And we were there till 4 o'clock in the morning.
Till 4 in the morning. It was amazing. That's our first week together.
Yeah. How about that? What about you, Earl?
Well, you know what I'd like to touch on, Zaya? You made a comment about some of the health benefits of
Right.
it. And you spoke about strokes and how it reduces strokes.
Right.
It just so happens that I've had 2 TIAs.
Are you kidding me?
Absolutely. At the age of 40 is when I had the first one.
Oh
And
my
then
God.
About a year later, I had the second
Explain
one.
to people exactly what TIA is, so if they don't
It's
know.
like having a small stroke. It's a mini stroke. I was riding down the street with my wife. It just so happened she was driving the car that day. And we were having a conversation. And the conversation was, it was a really interesting conversation to me. In the middle of the conversation, my tongue started locking up. I couldn't
my
swallow.
God.
I fell into her lap. My heart rate jumped
Oh
up
my
to
God.
like 160
Wow.
on my Apple Watch. And she was asking me what's going on. I couldn't get it out. And I finally got out the word stroke. Rushed me to the hospital. We get into the hospital and they see me and they don't even ask a question. They just get the stroke team ready. So I survived that situation. The second one I had, it happened in my sleep.
Oh, wow.
I woke up to go for my morning jog and I was completely off balance and my face was starting to droop.
Oh my
I didn't
God.
even realize what
At
was
that
happening
young
to
age?
me. Mind you, I dunked a basketball 2 or 3 days before that. Like I could still dunk a basketball.
Right.
So this happened to me and couldn't figure out what was going on. It was going through all types of testing to try to get it to stop. I changed a whole lot of things in my life. And one of the things that happened during that time period that I didn't think about and didn't know anything about until you just said this is that was around the spring. The last one I had was going into that spring. After that, I started smoking these cigars on a regular basis, and I'm just wondering if that is contributing to the blood flow and allowing my body to function.
It does. It does 42%. It depends on the people, but 42% reduction in the strokes because stroke happen because, of course, there is a lack of blood and oxygen flowing to your brain.
Wow.
And natural nicotine, for all of you that don't know, depends what size of cigar you smoke, but it stays in your bloodstream from 24 to 48 hours before you smoke another one, right? So it dilates your artery, blood flows, you relax, and when you had stroke at young age when you weren't smoking, now you've been smoking like crazy and you haven't had it, thank God. So I'm telling you guys, it is good. Don't listen to other people. There is a propaganda to stop people smoking because government wants people to be robot, right?
Yes,
so they can program us however they want. We live in a free country. I am going to smoke. I'm going to smoke cigars. I'm going to smoke El-Septimo. Nothing and no one can stop me. So thank you so much for all of you being here. These people enjoy our conversation, and we had a good civil conversation before we start hitting each other. So say goodbye to everybody out there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us, Zaya.
هذا أحلى مني.
هذا أحلى مني.
أحلى مني أحلى. هذا أحلى سيجارة.
Summertime and the living is easy. Fish are jumping and the cotton is high. Your daddy's rich and your mama's good looking. So hush, little baby.